has to be space in the relationship. Otherwise, it's like we're the same person.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the overlooked rom-coms we think deserve more kudos.
Besides, you don't have to show off for Jamie. Just be yourself.
Number 30, Wedding Season. Enter the world of Indian weddings with this thoughtful and funny Netflix movie. Asha's a high flyer who wants to make a difference in the world and hasn't got time for romance.
Do you both understand that I may not want a husband or a partner in my life?
No.
Ravi wants to follow his passions and get his parents off his back. Together, they hatch a plan to see out wedding season as each other's pretend date.
Can't you see? I am happy. Thrilled, in fact, because I met someone too. My Indian Prince Charming, right here.
As rom-coms go, it's pretty standard fare, but we love to see some South Asian representation, and the leads have great chemistry. Check it out for a feel-good, fake dating tale about family expectations and finding true love where you least expect it. Number 29, Roxanne.
Did you say your name was Roxanne?
Yeah.
It's unusual. It's, pretty.
Edmond Rostand's play Cyrano de Bergerac has had its share of adaptations, including musical versions and loose modern updates such as The Ugly Truth and Sierra Burgess is a Loser. However, Roxanne still holds a special place in our hearts. Here, the story has been transferred to the 1980s, but as in the original play, the Cyrano character is cursed with an unnaturally large nose. Steve Martin plays CD, who agrees to help his friend win the heart of Daryl Hannah's Roxanne. Although you could easily be put off by the cartoonish appearance of Martin's lead character, the central romance is sweet and the movie has a lot of charm.
I love your nose, Charlie. I love you, Charlie.
Number 28, The Sure Thing. This little-known teen comedy was an early outing for When Harry Met Sally director Rob Reiner. It also stars a young John Cusack in the lead role. The film follows two college students who find themselves crossing the country together over Christmas break.
And Gib, this is Allison.
No, I should have taken the bus.
What, and wind up sitting next to some sleazebag? Some sleazebag you don't know?
Cusack's Walter is traveling to meet a blind date in California, a girl who his best friend assures him is a sure thing. Daphne Zuniga's Allison is a fellow student from Walter's English class, going to visit her boyfriend. In short, it's an enemies to lovers road movie. Think It Happened One Night meets the 80s. It's a little bit dated in places, but it's got heart and the leads have real charisma, especially Cusack in what many consider his breakout role.
A rose for the lady?
Would the lady care for a rose? Would the lady care to advance the gentleman the cost of the rose? Put it on the bill. It'd be great.
Number 27, Return to Me. When his wife dies in a car accident, Bob Ruland believes he will never love again. But then he meets the woman who was given a second chance at life when she received a transplant of his late wife's heart.
Do we know each other?
I think so. You been in here before?
Unaware of the cosmic connection between them, the pair begin to fall for each other. Okay, so it might be a terrible idea for a rom-com, but if you can get past the questionable premise, you could find a lot to like. Old-fashioned romance, gentle comedy, and likable leads make Return to Me an unexpected winner. It's sweet, uncynical, and a real feel-good watch.
Or simply a lark. Is it Granada I see?
Number 26, The Matchmaker. However corny and however fake the accents, we love a good rom-com set in Ireland.
Oh, come on. We're not all paddies.
You're right. I'm sorry, it's very insensitive of me. What is your name?
Sean. Sean's my name.
For fans of Leap Year or Irish Wish, The Matchmaker is definitely worth a watch. Marcy Tizard is an assistant sent to the Emerald Isle to track down the long-lost relatives of a Boston politician in order to win Irish-American votes. But of course, this being a rom-com, she arrives slap-bang in the middle of a fictional town's famed matchmaking festival.
Here she is now, isn't she lovely? And I'm sure we all wish her the best of luck in finding a husband. Hooray!
Cue boorish bachelors, sexy barmen, and old men in flat caps. It's a lot of fun, the music is great, and lead actress Janine Garofalo makes an engaging heroine. Number 25, Deliver Us from Eva.
Eva, I'm not afraid of you. And I want to go on record as saying I totally respect your mind and your spirit.
What about my body?
It's beautiful.
Back in 1999, the writers of 10 Things I Hate About You found success with their updated version of Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew. 4 years on, Deliver Us from Eva arguably takes the same play, and one of the same actors, and gives us a different spin. Gabrielle Union stars as Eva Dandridge, the eldest of 4 sisters, dubbed as bossy and difficult by her siblings' partners. To get the interfering sister out of the picture, the men set Eva up with a master player. It's fairly predictable, but Union and LL Cool J make a great pair.
Oh, sweet thing, don't you know you're my everything?
It's also fun to see a different reworking of the famous play. Number 24, Fever Pitch. Fever Pitch began as a memoir by the English writer Nick Hornby, exploring his lifetime obsession with English football and the way it impacted his relationships. It was then adapted into a British rom-com, starring Colin Firth as the football-mad protagonist.
Oh, it's only a game.
Don't say that! Please! That is the worst, most stupid thing anyone could say. Because it quite clearly isn't only a game.
The original is worth checking out, but our favorite is the American reimagining starring Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore. Fallon plays Ben Reitman, a schoolteacher and lifelong Boston Red Sox fan. He falls for Barrymore's Lindsay Meeks, who questions the shelf life of the relationship when she realizes she will always be competing with his beloved baseball team.
We're 2 games out of first with 3 weeks left. Seattle's coming in this weekend. I mean, this is when they need me.
They need you.
It's a likable and feel-good story. Fallon makes a charming lead, and he and Barrymore have a sweet, genuine chemistry. Number 23, The Truth About Cats and Dogs. The familiar tale of Cyrano strikes again in this enjoyable 90s comedy starring Janeane Garofalo and Uma Thurman. Garofalo plays Abby, a self-conscious vet and radio host who convinces her neighbor to pretend to be her in an attempt to win over a guy she likes. If we're honest, the plot makes very little sense.
What? Nothing, sorry, it's just you sound completely different on the air.
Oh, you should hear me in the shower.
In the wrong hands, it just wouldn't work. However, the strong central cast bring credibility and charm to their characters, and the script has just enough wit to carry us through to the end. The Truth About Cats and Dogs is an obscure rom-com that rarely makes the lists, but it's engaging and fun just the same.
I heard her on the air today, she was brilliant.
Brilliant!
Yes.
Oh, that's a bit much, don't you think?
Are we getting jealous?
No, trust me, that's not even possible.
Number 22, Music and Lyrics. Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant make a surprisingly winning duo in this enjoyable music fable.
Figuring out you and me is like doing a love autopsy.
The story follows Alex Fletcher, an 80s pop sensation turned has-been. His career now relies solely on nostalgia bookings, but he's offered the chance to restart it by writing a song for a star. Barrymore plays Sophie, a woman who comes to water his plants and ends up as his lyricist. It's a sweet film, and although it's lighthearted, it doesn't feel like fluff. There's a great supporting cast, some genuine laughs, and a few instantly iconic songs.
I can't make it through without a way back into love.
Just prepare for them to get stuck in your head. Number 21, French Kiss.
I stay, I help you, I promise. Okay?
Do what you want, it's a free country, isn't it?
Oui.
Meg Ryan was the queen of rom-coms for a while, but not all of her movies have entered the zeitgeist quite like When Harry Met Sally and You've Got Mail. In French Kiss, Ryan acts opposite Kevin Kline, who adopts a questionable French accent to play our leading man. Ryan's Kate is headed to Paris to win back her wayward fiancé when she meets Luc on the plane.
Did you ever think that maybe it is not the airplane?
What's not the airplane?
That maybe it is something else you are afraid of?
The chemistry crackles, but unfortunately, he's a petty criminal who's hidden a diamond necklace in her luggage. When the jewelry is stolen, the real chaos begins. In essence, French Kiss is a fun romp full of both stereotypes and gorgeous scenery, but the leads have the star power to carry it off. Number 20, What If? Also known as the F word.
Well, maybe you'd like to talk again sometime.
Yeah, definitely. We should hang out.
Yeah.
Known as both the F word and What If, depending on the country of release, this rom-com gave us Daniel Radcliffe in one of his first post-Potter roles. Radcliffe plays Wallace, a guy who drops out of med school after finding out his girlfriend is cheating on him. He befriends Chantry, who is dating someone else at the time, but the boundaries of their relationship become more and more blurry as the story goes on. It's a great portrayal of the modern dating scene that will inevitably feel relatable to most viewers.
And I don't want it to be over.
I don't want it to be over either.
Number 19, Obvious Child.
Does having an abortion hurt?
No, except for some cramps afterwards, but they feel just like period cramps.
You wouldn't think that an unintended pregnancy and subsequent abortion would be the fodder for a romantic comedy, but somehow Obvious Child manages to make it work.
This nice shirt's name is Max.
Oh, hey. This lady's name is Donna.
Donna is a stand-up comedian who gets dumped by her boyfriend and ends up having a one-night stand with a stranger and getting pregnant. As she awaits her scheduled abortion, she starts to form a bond with the man responsible for her pregnancy, despite the fact that she's trying to keep him at arm's length. We won't tell you how this one ends, but it's a sweet, if very unconventional love story that we can see becoming considered a classic.
Hey.
Hi.
These are for you.
That's so nice.
Number 18, Celeste and Jesse Forever.
It's not normal, okay? You guys have been separated for 6 months. You're getting divorced, all right? And you spend every day together hanging out as if like it's no big deal.
Most romantic comedies show us the beginnings of relationships, but this one kicks off as a marriage is coming to a close. Celeste and Jesse got married when they were young, but as the years have gone by, their differences have become more and more pronounced, with her being more ambitious and him being something of a slacker. The chemistry between the two characters, though, makes it obvious that there's still something special there.
And I'm really sorry to bug you, but I really need you to sign those papers.
Uh-huh. Okay, Jesse, well, I've been busy with work because some of us work for a living, so I'm sorry I haven't had time to focus on helping you get on with your new life.
They try to stay close friends, which of course presents a whole new set of challenges. This story is a poignant one that will definitely ring true to anyone who has ended a relationship with someone they still love.
We did it.
Number 17, The Big Sick.
Hey.
What are you doing here?
Jesse called me and wanted me to make sure you were okay.
This charming movie was an award season darling, despite the fact that it wasn't a particularly high-grossing film at the time. Based on the true story of its writers, the film follows Kumail, a Pakistani-American Uber driver who falls for a white girl despite his parents wanting to set him up with someone with the same background as him. He starts dating Emily anyway, but the two break up when she finds out that he's not sure how long it can last.
I can't be the reason that you don't have a family. It just feels totally different now. And I can't do that again.
Things really ramp up, though, when a health crisis finds Emily in a coma, and Kumail bonding with her family as she recovers. Number 16, Letters to Juliet.
I'm sorry, I didn't know true love had an expiration date.
Inspired by the trend of visitors to Verona leaving letters to Juliet Capulet, William Shakespeare's famed fictional romantic heroine, this movie features a lush Italian setting and a sweet and memorable love story. Amanda Seyfried plays Sophie, a woman on her pre-honeymoon in Italy who becomes enamored with those letters that people write to Juliet. She tracks down one of the letter writers to help her find her lost love, and in the process unexpectedly finds a new romance of her own. This movie may not have been a financial success, but despite the poor box office showing, it's definitely worth a watch.
I don't know what a love like Juliet's feels like. A love to leave loved ones for, a love to cross oceans for. But I'd like to believe, if I ever were to feel it, that I'd have the courage to seize it.
Number 15, Kate and Leopold.
I jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge and took a walk in 1876 today. I followed my great-great-grandpa around old New York.
We love a good time travel love story, and Kate and Leopold definitely fits the bill. Physicist Stuart Besser mistakenly brings one of his ancestors, His Grace Leopold Alexis Elijah Walker Thomas Gareth Mountbatten, 3rd Duke of Albany, from the 19th century to modern-day New York. Sparks fly, however, when Leopold meets Stuart's ex, the hard-driving, high-achieving Kate.
I don't know the story of Prince Charles and Lady Di.
Oh, you don't want to. It's a cautionary tale, further proof.
Of what?
You can't live a fairy tale.
Of course, because of their different backgrounds, there are some cultural differences to overcome. Sure, the plot isn't the most logical, but we can suspend our disbelief when it comes to enjoying this time-hopping romance.
This is madness. This is madness. Who was that?
Number 14, Chasing Liberty.
I am 18 years old, and I want to go out on a date without a posse of guys in bad suits. Sorry, Harper, hiding behind every tree. Nothing is private.
There are some worlds that we all want to see inside of, and Chasing Liberty capitalized on that concept. Mandy Moore plays Anna Foster, the teenage daughter of the President of the United States. She's stifled by all of the restrictions put on her, and the security team constantly trailing her. So she runs off with a stranger who she just meets. It turns out, however, that Ben is actually part of her father's security team, but leads her to believe that he's just a regular guy.
I thought I was alone because I never had any opportunities, because I never had any privacy, but thank you so much for proving me wrong. I needed that.
Anna, believe me, this is not about you.
Conflict inevitably ensues, but this romp around Europe is tons of fun.
So if you're scared, why do it?
Because the things you're scared of are usually the most worthwhile.
Number 13, Lars and the Real Girl.
Where did you meet this person?
On the internet.
A film revolving around a young man who develops a relationship with a sex doll sounds like your typical teenage sex comedy. Except this film doesn't go that route. Instead, what could have been a one-joke movie is actually a sincere look at the struggles of a character dealing with social anxiety.
Those are nice, huh? They're not real, so they last forever. Isn't that neat?
Ryan Gosling is superb as the titular Lars, cementing his place as one of the best young actors in Hollywood. Although the film actually lost money, it was a critical success, and was even nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay.
Hey, what are you doing on Friday night?
School board meeting. Bianca got elected, so.
Number 12, Think Like a Man.
Just don't want a relationship based on lies. That's called marriage.
Movies with a large cast and multiple interweaving storylines tend to be pretty by the numbers in regards to the romantic comedy genre. And it's true, Think Like a Man doesn't reinvent the wheel. Based on a book by Steve Harvey, the film revolves around 4 different women and their relationships. What makes this film stand out, however, is its terrific cast and the performances they give.
I want to be your husband. And I want you to be my wife.
Critics particularly praise the performances of Megan Good and Kevin Hart, and the acting alone makes this film worth the watch.
What do you call the 3 rings of marriage? No clue. The engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffer ring.
Number 11, The Holiday.
I'm very normal. Neat freak, healthy, non-smoker. Single. Hate my horrible life.
This, well, holiday movie has indeed become a modern classic to some, though it still seems to fly under the radar. Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet play 2 women who are each at a crossroads in their lives, and decide to switch houses for the holiday season, with one going to sunny Los Angeles and the other heading to the picturesque English countryside.
I think you should get dressed, we should take a drive, get some lunch, and get to know each other.
Really? Why?
Because I'm running out of reasons why we shouldn't.
They both manage to find new love along the way, and shed some of the things that had been holding them back in their previous lives.
This twisted, toxic thing between us is finally finished.
Definitely put this one on your to-watch list this Christmas. Number 10, Leap Year.
They're earrings.
Yeah.
For my ears.
The concept that men have to be the ones to propose to women is clearly now old-fashioned. In Leap Year, Amy Adams' character decides to take the opportunity to propose to her boyfriend on Leap Day, which is supposedly the day on which women can propose to men without them refusing.
You know nothing about me or Jeremy. You know what you are? You're a cynic. You're a lonely, bitter cynic.
Better that than an idiot. Leap year, Diddly Eye. Will you marry me, Diddly Eye? I've got a suitcase called Louis, Diddly Eye.
She gets waylaid on the way to meet him in Ireland, however, and ends up realizing that what she thought she wanted wasn't quite right. She kicks off a whole new romance with an Irish innkeeper, and then has to decide between the 2 men in her life.
Kiss the girl.
Number 9. Love, Rosie.
First, you have to be cool. Ignore her, act like you could take it or leave it.
See that if I practice that.
Second, you have to make her feel like you've seen something in her no one else has. Like, her soul.
Based on Cecilia Ahern's book Where Rainbows End, the movie Love, Rosie gives us a charming love story between two childhood friends. Alex and Rosie have known each other for ages, but on Rosie's 18th birthday, they kiss, which inevitably changes their dynamic for good. Because of a lack of communication, they end up drifting apart, with each of them facing other relationships and challenges in their lives.
We're getting married. The wedding's next week. It's fast, but we need to fit it in before New York Fashion Week. And you have to be our best man.
This is a love story that focuses on what happens when you fall for your best friend, and has to be ultimately one of the most romantic picks on our list. Number 8. Friends with Kids.
We really want to have a kid.
Yeah.
We just don't want to subject that kid to our tragic marriage.
Similar to our last entry, on-screen chemistry is what makes this film better than your standard rom-com. Director Jennifer Westfeldt stars as the female lead alongside Adam Scott, both of whom are terrific. Add in the sex-obsessed Jon Hamm and Kristen Wiig, and the placid Maya Rudolph and Chris O'Dowd, and you get 3 clever, unique relationships all on screen at the same time.
I will be 100% committed to this half the time, maybe even more.
Plus, while our 2 main characters try to figure out their feelings for each other, we also get to watch their adorable child grow up.
Oh, look at this. That was you.
Number 7. Just Like Heaven.
You're not dead, you're alive.
I know, David, but I'm in a coma. This is not good.
Well, it's way better than dead.
Okay, granted, a girl in a coma storyline sounds like the plot of a bad daytime soap, but this film moves past the cliche and does a great job looking at 2 characters that are desperately seeking a connection. Mark Ruffalo stars as David Abbott, a grieving widower who has recently moved into a new apartment. The apartment is also inhabited by the spirit of its former owner, Reese Witherspoon's Elizabeth, who is currently in the hospital in a coma.
This is more serious than I thought.
Go away, you don't exist.
Together, they work to overcome the difficulties they have both faced in their lives. Critics praise the strong character development and clever dialogue, making for a heavenly combination.
Rest in peace.
Oh, I'm not leaving.
Number 6. Definitely Maybe.
I feel horrible about taking the...
Before he was the foul-mouthed Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds appeared in many romantic comedies, some better than others. One of his best is this film, which revolves around Reynolds telling the history of his dating life to his young daughter, as both she and the audience attempt to guess the true identity of her mother.
Well, I think I discovered who my mom is in the story.
Really?
Really.
Well, who is it?
Not telling.
The film didn't quite draw the crowds, however, ranking just 5th at the box office on its opening weekend, but it was a critical success, with reviewers complimenting the original plotline and charismatic lead characters.
It was cowardly, and I'm sorry.
Oh, God! Oh!
Number 5. About Time.
It's going to be a complicated year. It's going to be a complicated life.
While we almost went with the 2012 time-traveling hit Safety Not Guaranteed, it's About Time that earns the spot on our list. This film follows the charming Domhnall Gleeson as Tim, who learns that he has the ability to travel through time. Initially, things go well as he's able to go back in time and get the girl of his dreams, played by the stunning Rachel McAdams. But he quickly learns that this gift may be more of a curse as he grows older.
You have to use it for things that you really think will make your life the way you want it to be. Come on.
Although there are some plot inconsistencies regarding the rules of time traveling, the film's sincere and sentimental storyline is sure to hit home with any viewer.
My mum's called Mary?
I look like your mother?
No, you're much prettier.
Number 4. Just Friends.
God, I want to lick your skin off.
I prefer you did.
We go back once again to Ryan Reynolds and get to see him like never before.
I swear.
Typically, it's the geeky girl who transforms into the beautiful swan, but this time it's Reynolds, who returns to his hometown after spending a decade away. He decides to get revenge on those who treated him poorly in high school, but he rediscovers his feelings for his former high school crush.
Oh my god, I can put my arms around you.
Reynolds' character learns some valuable lessons in his pursuit, including what true beauty really is.
Thanks for reminding me I was fat.
Number 3. Serendipity.
Serendipity. It's one of my favorite words.
The term serendipity is when events happen by chance in an advantageous way. And that's what this film is about, chance. Our two lovers meet each other at the film's beginning, but decide to leave the future of their relationship up to fate.
Whoa, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Jonathan, played by John Cusack, writes his name and phone number on a $5 bill, while Sarah, played by Kate Beckinsale, does the same inside the cover of a book, believing that if their relationship is meant to be, they will find these items one day. This film is perfect for those who believe in true love and the idea that everything will work out the way it's meant to.
What do you want to do?
I don't care.
Alright, go on then.
Number 2. It's complicated.
Knowing how to be divorced is next to impossible.
Any film that stars Meryl Streep is worth a watch for her alone. Add in Steve Martin and Alec Baldwin, and you get a terrific cast that raises this film above others of the genre. Streep plays a single mother of 3 who begins a relationship with her former husband, while also coming to terms with her feelings for her architect.
You don't think in the future you might want a his?
Oh God, we're talking code about my life.
While this film doesn't necessarily do anything new in regards to its plot or storyline, the acting is superb, and the film earned several Golden Globe nominations.
Maybe we should be growing old together.
I hate to tell you, big guy, we already grew old apart.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Ruby Sparks.
Not writing about you. I wrote you.
If you could write yourself the perfect partner, what would they be like? That's exactly what happens to Calvin in this quirky and original film. A struggling author, Calvin begins writing about a girl named Ruby Sparks, only to discover that his creation has come to life.
I missed you in bed last night.
While the film could have been an over-the-top love fest, we get to see the darker side of a relationship in which one person has all the control. In this case, quite literally.
You don't get to decide what I do.
Wanna bet?
The fact that the film looks at how easy it is to become insecure and controlling in a relationship, and does so while still remaining funny and heartwarming, is truly impressive.
Just don't tell me how it ends, okay?
Which underrated rom-com do you think is the most romantic? Let us know in the comments.
All I'm asking you is don't write me off just yet.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.